Bum, bum, bum. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. It's Sunday morning, April 5th. This is your Sunday morning Schmooze with Rabbi Farkas. The Sunday morning Schmooze is our weekly opportunity for a check-in through Facebook Live and through email and text, etc. A chance for you to ask me your questions, to see how everyone's doing, just to check in, and just to say hi. There's really no agenda, although, again, because Passover's coming, we're happy to take your Passover questions, and there's just so much out there. I see Doran's watching. Nice to see you, Doran. Doran, you did a wonderful mitzvah this week, dropping off food at the food bank, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for doing that. Our food bank is still struggling very mightily, but is not it's not doing terribly. Donations are starting to come in. We are working with a few key institutional partners who might have the opportunity to help fund us and procure food for us. So I just want to thank you, Doran, for that. And I see Effie's watching too. Nice to see you, Effie. I hope your family's doing well. I've been in touch with a lot of your friends and family, and Alana Vorspan, our communications director, is watching now, so I appreciate that. If you guys can do me a favor and comment, like, and share these videos, make sure friends are following the Valley Beth Shalom Facebook page. That's where a lot of our information shows up. That's where a lot of our digital broadcasts are. So as this gets going, I think it's really important that we just remember our good digital tools. So again, I want to wish everyone a happy good morning, beautiful morning here in Southern California. I'm Rabbi Farkas, broadcasting from home, and this is your Sunday morning schmooze, where we just do some general announcements and give gratitude and love. It runs for about a half hour, 40 minutes or so. So if you have any questions, or you want to tell me how you're doing, or any Passover questions, any general COVID-19 questions, what's happening, this is your chance for making sure you're up to speed on your public service announcements and your Passover service announcements, both PSAs. So I want to welcome Carol Nee. It's so good to see you, Carol, and Karen Gettleman. Always wonderful to see you online. And Susan, it's really, really nice. I want to give you just a couple of general announcements just to get started. As you know, Passover is coming Wednesday night. On Wednesday night, we're hosting 3 virtual Seders for you. 5 o'clock p.m., you'll get me and Rabbi Avi. We'll be doing a preschool Seder for about 35 minutes or so. Quick little Seder for the young ones, for people who need some help and maybe just need to put the kids in front of a TV while you're trying to get your Seder going. Around 5:40, there's going to be a day school age, elementary school age Seder. That will run about 45 minutes. And around 6:15 to 6:30 will be an adult Seder that will run about 45 minutes to an hour. And so we're doing back-to-back-to-back Seders, all on the VBS Facebook page. So please, again, I'm asking, if you're, as friends, I see you're coming online and participating, to please like the Facebook page and to share it and invite other people to like it too. That's how we get more people involved. Other things that are really important that are coming up on the vbs.org/Passover page online, you'll be able to see wonderful resources. I mean, just so many resources to help you prepare for Seder. There's videos, there's songs, there's a whole guide there. So there's opportunities for you to do crafts, all sorts of things to help you really try to make your Passover as meaningful as possible. And I do want to just remind everyone that Passover is going to take some extra work. And it's okay to not have the best Seder this year. It's okay to kind of tune it down just a little bit, but don't give up. Like, everything that we take for granted has to be done with intention now. Everything that was given to us before has to be done with some kind of intention. So it's going to take a little extra work to make Passover feel like Passover. And that means, if that means cleaning your house, if that means putting up some extra decorations or doing some crafts with the kids, if that means baking that really tasteless marble coffee cake from Manischewitz just so you can have it, maybe that's what you got to do this year. So I just think that there has to be a little bit of intention. I want to say hi to Annette. It's nice to see that you're online this morning. And to Mark Rudda, always good to see you guys here on a Sunday morning. Again, if you have any questions or comments, just to let me know how things are doing. And I'm happy to answer those. Karen is asking me, if you have food for the food bank, will someone be at the synagogue to take it and give it out? Yes. Our food bank volunteers are hard at work. They're coming in small groups and shifts. So please, there's opportunities to drop things off right at the front. And our maintenance security staff who are manning the facility will be happy to take that. And our volunteers are sorting it and are also giving the food out. So yes, absolutely. And please remind everyone, please, this is a great opportunity. If you're cleaning out your kitchen and there's food that's chametz that you don't want to use for Passover, bring it to the food bank because we desperately need that. So I really appreciate that. A few other things coming up. So it's spring break, which means that our schools are officially on break for the next couple of weeks, but that doesn't mean that you can't necessarily engage with us. It's an opportunity if you'd like to engage with VBS. We are actually running live this morning, starting a VBS Passover family camp on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. And what that means is that there is all sorts of special programming for kids being highlighted every day of the week. And on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, Cantor Barron, in a previous life, created these wonderful programs that are meant for ECC to first graders, preschoolers to first graders, called Aleph Bet Blastoff. We're going to be re-showing those, and he's going to be hosting that with the puppets. It's going to be really awesome. And there's going to be an Afikoman adventure videos, and 4 through 6 on Zoom is going to be kind of a survival camp. On Wednesday, April 8th, there's going to be an emoji Passover, which I'm really looking forward to. I asked Cameron last week, I never saw it, what Chag Gadya would look like as an emoji experience, so that would be kind of fun. So that's all hitting your email box as we speak right now. Any second, you might be getting, if you're a member of VBS, you might be getting information about this camp. There's cooking lessons, all sorts of things. It's a 3-day experience for those who want to be able to have something for their kids to be engaged with leading up right up to Passover. So that's all. It's all on the VBS page, vbs.org/Passover. And if you want to find the camp, it's vbs.org/Passover-camp. That'll be a chance for you to see what we're trying to do. We're really trying to make things happen. And then on services. So we've gotten a lot of questions this week about what to do for Passover services, because it's not just the Seder. So we're going to be having Yom Tov services on the holidays, which include, for example, not just the Seders that I said earlier online, but as I bring this up, I just want to make sure I get it absolutely right for everyone, is Wednesday morning, there will be a siyum for firstborn, which is a very 1,000-year-old tradition that the firstborns go and learn a little something and then do what's called siyum bechorot. That's early morning. That's a 7:30 a.m. Wednesday morning with Rabbi Feinstein, who always leads that. Then the Passover camp that day. The Seders are that night. Thursday morning, April 9th, Passover Yom Tov services begin at 10 o'clock. And the first day will be with Rabbi Feinstein and Cantor Barron. And then evening minyan that night will be at 5 p.m. Friday, second day of Yom Tov, will be Rabbi Hoffman and Cantor Fox and Cantor Barron. Also on that Friday afternoon, we have our party line conference call for our community members, maybe friends or family members of yours who don't have access to normal internet or don't know how to access the technology but need a time for connection. So every Friday afternoon, we have this party line call-in. And last couple of weeks, we've had 20-something people each time, which has been really nice. And then there's Kabbalat Shabbat with me on Friday night at 5 o'clock. Shabbat still is Shabbat. We're still going to have Shabbat services at 10 a.m. Torah studies at 9 a.m. It's going to be pre-recorded with Rabbi Feinstein. 10 a.m. will be Facebook Live. And there'll also be a Tat Shabbat Kids Minyan on Saturday. All trying to roll out all of our programming. That's what our plan is. There'll be Havdalah, as always, 8 p.m. on Saturday night. Now, the following week, we are going to do, I'm going to do a Sunday Schmooze next week right here, right in this space on VBS Facebook page. A Sunday Schmooze with a very good friend of mine. Her name is Happy Hoffman. She's a wonderful musician She lives out in Oklahoma, of all places, but she leads services for youth all over the country. And so we're going to do a little sing-along. I'm going to talk to her about it. And then also in the afternoon, I'm on a panel with the University of Southern California Dornsife Center, and we'll be talking about how us as clergy are dealing with these spring holidays. And so I'll be joined by Dr. Najuma Pollard, who is a wonderful African-American pastor down here in L.A., and Aziza Hazan, who is the CEO and president of New Ground, as well as Brie Laxota, who is the sort of chief operating officer for the USC Dornsife Center. So we're going to be doing that on Sunday. And then Yontif is happening next week for the end of the holiday, and there will be Yontif services at the end of the holiday as normal. Passover Yom Tov services will be at 10 a.m., both on Wednesday and on Thursday. But I do want to say something very important. We are going to do, and this is also new, and we're still trying to figure out exactly how to do it right, but you'll so pay attention to this. We're going to do Yizkor services on Thursday, April 16th, and we're going to be doing them live, both via broadcast and via Zoom. We're going to be trying to bring up the Yizkor booklet online. We want folks to know that it will be done probably around 11 o'clock or so on that day, on April 16th. There'll be a separate Yizkor service. So that is still, information is coming. Hopefully that will get locked up by the end of the day today, and then make sure that all of you know, so that if you have friends or family, loved ones that you want to say Yizkor for, we're going to have an online Yizkor service just specifically for that group. Carol, I see you're asking me if non-VBS members can access children's programming, and I believe so. The answer is yes. If it's online and being blasted out, it is open for anyone to view and share. Although, again, as always, I want to encourage everyone to like and invite your friends to like the Valley Beth Shalom Facebook page. That's kind of our central channel at the moment. So if your friends want to see the kids programming, the camp, etc., then I think that then you'll have a chance to see it at the VBS Facebook page. So good. I'm glad Cameron clarified that for me, because I actually don't know all the technical answers. My department tends to be more on the content side, less on the technical side. So thanks, Cami, for that. I want to wish you good morning to Jonathan Hartman. I see that you are. I see that you're online this morning. I hope you had a nice Shabbat dinner with your family on Friday night. And again, I'm Rabbi Farkas. It's Sunday morning. It's about 10:15, and this is our weekly Sunday Schmooze, where there is no real agenda, although we're happy this morning to take your Passover questions. There's no real focus here other than me giving some public service announcements, Passover service announcements, VBS service announcements, and taking your questions and your comments. So if you have anything you want to ask, anything about what's going on in the world, what's going on with Passover, VBS, here's your opportunity to do it, and just always to remind people to like and share our material so that we can help each other out. In terms of Los Angeles itself, a couple of important announcements have been asked by the mayor's office to share. If you're going out in public to go Passover shopping or to go shopping in general, please try to cover your face. It's important, not because they're actually worried about you getting sick, because if you're strong and able to go out, that's great. It's just that for those who are working and those who are out there in those stores, we want to make sure no one else gets sick. So it doesn't have to be a medical mask. It needs to be a tight-fitting scarf or a bandana, or you can make a mask at home. It doesn't have to be a highly sterilized mask like you would see in the hospital. Let's reserve those special masks for frontline first responders and workers, but you should cover your face so that you don't get anyone else sick. And I think that's one of the things the mayor has asked me specifically to announce, so I'd like to do that. I'd also like to just to give a couple of other announcements. If I know everyone likes to hike and go to the beach, but those are closed. And the word I got yesterday actually is that there are patrols now, both from park rangers and others, patrolling those spaces. And you will be ticketed if you are breaking the Safer at Home order at this point. They gave a week leeway for people to get used to it, but I know that there are patrols out now. So please do the right thing and don't take advantage and don't think the rules apply to you. And the last thing I'm going to say, just as a general announcement that I've been asked, is that I know you want to wear gloves and a mask when you go to the grocery store. I know that that's really important. But what's equally important is not to just dump those gloves and masks in parking lots and throw them away on the side of your car as you leave. It's not that those gloves and masks are suddenly dirty or terrible. You need to throw them away in your own garbage can. I went to the grocery store on Friday afternoon, and the parking lot was completely strewn with gloves and masks. And I just don't think that that's an appropriate way to treat our city. So I've been asked by the mayor to just share an announcement to take. Still remember your good responsibility, and please realize that the rules need to apply to everyone, or else this whole situation doesn't work. So I just think that's really important. Okay, so Karen, I see that you asked a question. You asked the community what they would add to their Seder plate. Yes, so in a Facebook feed earlier this week, I put out a question because I really didn't know the answer. Is what would be something you would add to your Seder plate to add meaning for this situation that we're in now? And I got so many wonderful answers. In fact, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring up. I think I got like 100 and something comments, and one of the things that came up for me that I really liked was there's like one group that said, let's not add anything, but just re-mythologize, re-drash what was already on the plate, which I thought was a really interesting comment about how you take what has been lasting and has been part of who we are and sort of, repurpose it, which I thought was really, really, really interesting. And then on the other side, people are coming up with really interesting things. So like on one hand, folks were like, well, let's put a mask or a glove or something on the Seder plate because it represents our care for our first responders, which I really liked, really liked. Although I also tried to think about the Seder plate is food. So what can we put that's food? And people came up with some beautiful ones. I want to mention one that I really loved. I thought the idea of a pomegranate was really great because a pomegranate is a beautiful fruit. It's a mystical fruit in Jewish life, and in addition, the outside is not edible, right? You really shouldn't eat the rind of a pomegranate, but the inside is beautiful and full of seeds and is just lovely. And so the idea is, and then the pun that they used is that the word corona also means crown. So the crown of the pomegranate is edible, but everything that's inside is edible. So I thought that was a very beautiful thing. And when you think about the situation that we're in now, this idea of on the outside, it looks like a really, really hard, difficult situation. But on the inside, there's some real opportunity for beauty. And I think that's the world we're in now, is just try to find where in our lives we can find that beauty. So that would be, I think that's the thing I've been thinking about adding to the Seder plate. Some other people added things like spices, certain spices. Some people said adding another matzah, which I really loved. Back in the 80s, when the Soviet Jewry movement was at its height, we added a fourth matzah, and so we were kind of thinking about what is that matzah might be. What would it be for? Is it for the first responder? Is it for the family member who's not physically with us? Those especially in our elderly community that are in various rest homes, etc., that really kind of feel imprisoned in these times when they can't even leave their room. So thinking about that and praying for them too. So those are just some of my ideas that I've been thinking about. It again, you can check out my personal Facebook page. I have hundreds of comments there, so many good ideas. So I suggest you to go check that out. Ami, nice to see you here this morning. Always great to see you. And Francis, nice to see you. Shalom to you. I hope everyone's doing well. This is our Sunday morning schmooze. It's just a chance for you to check in with the leadership of VBS, a chance for us to check in with you, answer any public service announcements you might have, answer any Passover service announcements you might have. As I said a few minutes ago, on the VBS homepage, vbs.org, our new website is just launched this week. Go on, play around with it, have a good time with it. And then if you go to vbs.org/Passover, you'll see just a huge amount of information, wonderful information that you'll be able to use to help prepare for Seder, experience Seder yourself on Wednesday night, and also and our new Passover family camp, which is beginning tomorrow. So we have this wonderful it's spring break. Our kids are all off, but we recognize that that's the time when our parents need more structure, not less structure in this time of COVID-19. So we have 3 days of wonderful camp that help allow your kids to be involved and to be educated. So yeah, to Cameron, thank you for putting that up. That's live now, just opened up at 10 a.m. this morning, so I get to be the first to announce it. I hope everyone's doing okay. Let me know how you're doing. Make a comment, ask a question, and just remember to share and like our Facebook page, because that's where most of this information and most of our live broadcasts are going to be found. You can also look at YouTube, which is we have a YouTube channel, so you can always subscribe there. It's just important that the way social media works is if you don't want to just stumble upon our stuff and you want to know when we're going live, you have to, in fact, click that like button and then hopefully invite other people to like it too. So I hope you're. So Grace is asking, can non-member use camp? Cameron, can you answer Grace probably better in a way that I can? Because I thought maybe everything's going to be live out to Facebook all the time, but I think there's a Zoom link for members, and then after the live broadcast, it will be for non-members. I don't know. Cameron, maybe you can answer that question, or if Alana is still on, you can answer that question just by typing out an answer. When something is only on Zoom, that's probably what's reserved for our members, and then when it's broadcast out to Facebook, I think it's something that's available for everyone. I think that's kind of how. I'm checking. Grace, I am looking through the camp website. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly right. So if you go to vbs.org/Passover-camp, Zoom is for members. So if something's only on Zoom, it's for our members. But if it says Facebook, you can always get it. And of course, Grace, you're always welcome to have your son's family join us. There is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful opportunity to be part of the large and growing Valley Beth Shalom community. So I hope that's something that's helpful to everyone. How's everyone else doing? Maybe give me a thumbs up or give me a smiley emoji. Maybe give me an emoji about how you're feeling right now so I can have a chance to know how things are going, because this is our Sunday morning check-in. This is, again, no real agenda, although I'm happy to answer Passover questions, public service announcement questions, and I just want to check in with all of you. So, Marcelo, nice to see that you're watching. Welcome. I hope everyone's doing well in your family and your congregation. And for everyone else, it's just an opportunity for you to check in. So why don't you go ahead and pick an emoji, make a little smile, give me a thumbs up, something. Let me know that everyone's doing well. Yeah, hi Chuck. Mazel tov to you. I hope that you're enjoying your married life. And it's been 2 weeks, 2 weeks since this, and 2 weeks since you've been married. So mazel tov to you and to Janet. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm happy to take your questions. There's so many other things. And so Carol is asking, so what about the fast of the firstborn service? Okay. So what we're going to do, Carol, is, again, you can find this information on the VBS page, vbs.org. /Passover. There is a Siyum Bechorot next Wednesday morning, early morning, 7:30 our time. So that would be, I think, 10:30 his time. And Rabbi Feinstein's going to be hosting that there. And there'll be a little service, plus he's going to teach and then do the Siyum. So, and the fast, of course, is still in place. There's no reason not to fast unless you're physically not able to. And that's, for those of you who don't know, the fast of the firstborn is a traditional fast for those who are firstborn children. It's been a very long-standing tradition, thousands of years, that you fast in the morning. So basically, you stop eating at night, the night before, and then you fast during the day until the Passover Seder. Although the Siyum itself is something that can break the fast. That's the idea. When you complete a when you complete a beautiful piece of learning, a chapter, a book, etc., you can then break the fast with other firstborn kids. So that's going to happen at 7:30 on Wednesday morning. So, and as Lana Vorspan is typing out, really appreciate her piping up and sending it up. So that's what's going on. I hope everyone's doing well, and if you have any questions for me, please bring them. I know that there are the OU has put out a Passover guide, as they do every year, and there are some new leniencies specifically for this year, especially because folks are having a hard time accessing kosher for Passover food. The Rabbinical Assembly has also put out a guide, which has been very helpful with some leniencies. I do want to give a special kudos, a mazel tov, a yasher koach to the United Synagogue, to Masorti Olami, to the Rabbinical Assembly, to Women's League, to JTS, to Zikr School of Rabbinic Studies. I think there's more organizations than I can count. To United Synagogue Conservative Judaism, they had a global healing service this morning that I got a chance to see. And from Jerusalem to Sao Paulo, Brazil, to New York, to here in LA, it was an opportunity to just have a short, beautiful little healing service that brought the conservative community together, and it was very uplifting to see lots of people. So it was really a beautiful thing, and if you can probably check that out online on one of their various Facebook pages. It was a really beautiful thing. I'm doing fine, Cammie. Thank you for asking. Our family's doing well. We're cooped up, but also get a chance to go for a walk a little bit. And the weather's been quite nice, so that's good. Worried about the rain, of course, that's supposed to be coming. But my garden is starting to bloom really nicely because I've been able to give it a lot of attention. So I've been doing a lot of self-care too, so I appreciate that. I see Bud is watching. Bud, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well this morning, and I hope everyone's feeling well and staying healthy. This is the Sunday Schmooze, where there's no real agenda, just a check-in with VBS and the leadership, spiritual leadership, and a chance for us to check in with you. So I hope everyone's doing okay, and as we get ready for Passover, there's so much going on, so many activities and opportunities online. VBS really is your place for that. We've got vbs.org/Passover is an opportunity for you to see all the material that you can see for preparing yourself for Passover, preparing your family for Passover, preparing your children for Passover, everything from getting your kitchen ready to getting your soul ready. And then on next Wednesday night, we'll have 3 back-to-back Seders. 5 p.m. is a preschool Seder. Around 5:30, 5:40 is going to be the elementary school Seder. And around 6:15, 6:30 is the adult Seder. And there'll be a chance for all of you to participate. My pleasure, Karen. I hope you are doing well, and I hope your family's doing well, and you're enjoying your time. I see Rabbi Taff is on. Thank you for all your work this week. I hope your family's enjoying it. It's a little bit of a break from the day school. The day school's been running nonstop online learning, and is finally be able to take a little breather as they go into spring break. So it's nice to see you, Rabbi Taff. And Rachel, I want to give my condolences to you, Rachel. I hope you're doing okay. I got to see Rabbi Feinstein and Nina walk by the other night. They were walking by our house, and I was out front playing basketball with my kids, and we got a chance to talk for a few minutes. So I really hope I send my condolences to you and your family is in this very trying time. And for everyone else, it's just really nice to be together, and really nice for us to take a few minutes and to spend a few minutes together. And this is your opportunity. Every Sunday morning, as long as it's not a holiday, I'll be here for the next few weeks for about half hour, 40 minutes, doing a Sunday Schmooze check-in. There's no agenda. It's just an opportunity for me to give some announcements, tell people what's going on, and to hear from you. So if you have any questions, if you have friends have any questions, you just let us know, okay? And what we want to do again, as I just put out there over and over again, is if you can like and share the Valley Beshalom page, that's how we know we can get to our people. Especially folks who don't know how to use Facebook very well, go ahead and invite them to like the page. If they like the page, then they'll be able to know when we're going live. They'll be able to subscribe to our videos. They'll be able to participate in community. And the last 2.5 to 3 weeks, we have been rolling out online material, virtual community, with the opportunity, really the goal is to take everyone out that's out there and try to bring them in close. And we've done that through our chesed opportunities, through VBS Helping Hands, which is an errand-based program that allows you to, if you have someone in your family who can't go out to the grocery store, we have a core of volunteers who are willing to do that, or go to a pharmacy, etc. We have VBS Connected Conversations, which is like a 21st century pen pal, where we connect people with some like interests and they talk about whatever they want. But it's an opportunity, again, for people who feel a little bit isolated to have someone to talk to and to share their life with, which is what we do best together at VBS. The VBS Counseling Center is continuing to run Wednesday programming. I don't think it's running this week, although I could be wrong. It's online support groups, and they're not confidential, but they are run with a therapist. And the idea is that they come together, they facilitate conversation, and these trained therapists have an opportunity to help people who are struggling. So that's run the last 2 weeks. We've had 2 groups on each Wednesday, and I think it'll be happening again. So again, that's another opportunity. And lastly, if you have a friend or a family member who doesn't have access to the internet in a traditional way, or it doesn't feel comfortable using the internet, doesn't have a smartphone, etc. We do have we're calling it a party line, if you remember what those are, a new call-in number. And we host on a Friday afternoon a call-in with Rabbi Feinstein, who does a little teaching and a little service with them. And this is really for our least connected folks. These are for our least connected members who are struggling and don't know how to use a computer, or aren't sure, or feel very uncomfortable in this digital environment. So we have a non-digital analog way for you to have a call-in number. You type in a little password, brings you into the room, and we try to connect with each and every one of you. So if you have someone who is in that situation, someone who doesn't know exactly how to use the internet, or doesn't have a smartphone, etc., doesn't get these videos, go ahead and call the synagogue, 788-6000. That's 818-788-6000. Or info@vbs.org, that's our email, and try to connect them, and we'll give you that phone number and password so you can get into that. So those are all just dozens of the ways that VBS is trying to connect with each and every one of our members. I know that for the 3rd week in a row, our leadership has made a phone call to every single one of our members, because what's important to us in these times is to feel as close as we can to each other. All right, Marcy, thank you for that. The VBS Food Bank has been struggling mightily. We are right on the edge of operating, and we could really, really use your help. We have an Amazon food wish list. We have a wish list through Amazon where you can order and have it delivered directly to the synagogue. That's a ongoing thing. Of course, Amazon, we have all of our challenges currently with delivery and things like that, but at least it's something. So I appreciate that, Marcy. It's really, really, really nice. I walked into the shul on Friday afternoon, and was a nice pile of food sitting there waiting for me when I came in to be sorted and put into our emergency food bag. So really appreciate the community stepping up, but we have to continue to step up. Want to give a shout out to Wayne. I see that you're here this morning. I hope you and your family are doing well, and that your Shabbat went well, and again, this is just our VBS Schmooze. We're going to go about 10 more minutes, and so if there's anyone who has any questions or comments, let us know how you're doing. The Schmooze in the morning is just, there's no real agenda. It's just a chance to give a few announcements and to spend a few minutes together, and it's just nice to be here. Again, you can find all of our information for Passover at vbs.org/Passover, including our Passover family camp, which is both for non-members and some areas for non-members. You can know that we have our Seders Wednesday night starting at 5 o'clock, from 5 to 5:30, from 5:30 to 6:30, 6:15 to whenever that finishes. One is for preschool, one is for elementary school, and one is for adults and teens. So, and I hope everyone's staying safe and staying well. Again, the mayor's asked me to tell everyone that when you go out to the grocery store to please cover your face. That's to ensure the health and safety of the people working in the store as well as yourself. And also asked me that to keep people off trails and beaches. They are patrolling now, and you will be ticketed starting this weekend, as opposed to just be giving a warning. So please try to stay away from those areas where you can congregate. And lastly, the sanitation department asked me to make sure that if you are using a mask and gloves, etc., and you finish shopping, to please just go ahead and fold them up and throw them away at home, and not to leave them in parking lots. That's it's not a great way to treat our city, and it's not great for the environment. And it is if it is contagious, you should throw it away in a receptacle. Okay. Yes, Doran. I will. Let me see. I'm on. I can't figure it out at this moment, but if Cameron or Ilana are on the phone still or on the space, can one of you put the link up for the Amazon wish list? I think you might be able just to go onto Amazon, Doran, and search it. Otherwise, I think it's also coming out in our blasts, so you'll see it there too. Those are also other opportunities. Anyone else have things that they like to ask, or maybe let me know? Like, what are you planning on doing for a Seder? Are you doing a Zoom Seder? Are you going to do some other FaceTime or Skype or Google Meets Hangout Seder? Are you going to do it just yourselves? Are you planning on tuning into the VBS Seder? Are you going to be with just your family? What are you thinking? Oh, thanks, Cameron. Thanks for the Amazon list. I really appreciate it. Again, it's Rabbi Noah Farkas from VBS. I really hope that you're doing well, and I really hope that everyone is staying safe and healthy, enjoying this weather. Although apparently it's gonna rain tonight, so. Not that we don't need the rain, but just adds to that feeling of being kept inside. One of the things that I noticed, because I was sitting on my driveway on Shabbat, because my son and I were playing some basketball and a few other things, and like so many people riding around in bicycles and walking around, and I think, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I saw 7 VBS families stop by. They were just on their way by, but because I was sitting out in the front, we got to schmooze for a little bit. So it was really, 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 really nice seeing everyone. And it's almost like when there isn't social distancing, everyone is at home on their screens, their iPads, their phones, etc. And when there is social distancing, everyone's outside on their bikes. It's like a whole new reality, which is really nice. Bud says that his family is enjoying a Zoom Seder. Good. Looking forward resources to create, given the conditions and recommendations are welcome. So, Bud, on the VBS page, you'll find tons of recommendations there. VBS.org/Passover. You'll be a chance to see lots of resources there. In addition, I can just give you a couple. We actually had 2 videos specifically on tips for Zoom Seder. Those videos are now online on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, and I think they've been linked on that Passover page, so you have a chance to see 2 orientation videos. Some really cool things to think about are, can you build a virtual Seder plate as a family? So each person who's doing it has a responsibility for one item, and you kind of all put it together and you all hold it up. Other ones are, you should dole out parts and everyone takes some parts of the Seder, either going around and reading parts or explaining things. But I do want to give you sort of rabbinic permission that this Seder is not going to be like any other Seder you've had before. It's a chance for you to experiment, but also don't hold yourself to a standard that might be unachievable. This new technology is hard for everyone. So I want to put that out there too. Okay. What else? How else are people? What else people are doing this year? What else are folks being able to attend to? Again, I just want to remind everyone before we close out here to help out the VBS Food Bank and to help out each other. This is really an important time for us to be together and to find ways of connecting in places of disconnection. And I was thinking a lot about the Afikomen. Maybe here's a little piece of teaching to end today. The afikomen is the strangest part of the Seder. I know other people think other parts are strange, but this is truly a strange thing. The word afikomen is a Greek word. It's not even Hebrew. And the rabbis in the Talmud had no idea what the afikomen was. They asked this question, what is the afikomen? They weren't really sure, and they came up with lots of answers to what the afikomen is. And the one we settled on is it's this final piece of matzah. It's like the last thing you should eat at the Passover Seder. And the tradition, again, around that in our homes is to, at the beginning of the Seder, you break the matzah, you break the middle matzah, because you're supposed to have 3 matzot. You take the greater half and you wrap it up in some kind of cloth or something, and you hide it, and then the kids go and find it. So the mitzvah of hiding the afikomen is nowhere to be found in the halachic literature. It's not found anywhere in halachic literature. It's just a custom. It's actually a custom that started in the 15th century. So as Jewish customs go, it's pretty new. It's a custom, and then finding the afikomen and bargaining for it, etc. It's a very new custom. So he asked the question is like, why do you have this strange custom of hiding the afikomen? You're only supposed to break the matzah. You're not necessarily, but the tzafun is the hiddenness part is not about hiding it around the house. You're just supposed to remove it from the plate. So hiding it and having the kids find it and bring it back and have it be the last thing. So, here's the question. The idea behind it is that the Seder can't end till you bring these 2 pieces of matzah back together. And that's based on a mystical idea of tikkun, that the world was broken, and our goal is to bring these sparks, these little God-given sparks, these little lights back together. And you can't finish the Passover Seder till you do it. It's a very beautiful metaphor for the world of the past, the present, and then the future. Except the problem is that have you ever tried to put a piece of matzah back together? Have you ever tried to put the 2 pieces of matzah back together? It's not possible, right? And that's actually the irony and the trick of where this moment that I think we're living in is that whatever world that we're going to try to piece back together through this redemption story and through this going through COVID-19 and coming back into the world, it will never fit back together exactly the way it did before. That's the thing about scar tissue, and that's the thing about brokenness, is that when you repair, when you bring the hiddenness to light again, it will never look exactly the way it was before. And that's okay. In fact, that's great. Because what that means is that you have an opportunity to maybe build a world a little differently. You have opportunity to look for redemption and rebuild this world better than we had it before. And to end on a very positive note is that you can't finish the Passover Seder until you've had a taste into that piece of afikomen, knowing that the world that we're going to build will still have this fracture in it, but it will be more beautiful than it was before. So that's my little piece of wisdom for you, my little afikomen for you. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. We'll check in again next week. I'll be with Happy Hoffman, but we'll still take your comments and questions. She'll even take a few requests if there are songs you'd like to sing. We'll see you next week. Chag Sameach, everyone. Take good care. Be safe, be happy, and be loving.